Not many weeks like this. Are you getting good practices?
First, I want to know is I happened to catch you on the radio for a minute the
What did
other
I do?
day, and baseball's first, second, third, and fifth. I mean, give one of us sports a chance, would you?
We did a little basketball.
Yeah, okay. Practice has been great. I mean, they've been longer, harder. We got something out of it. We're getting something out of it. I think the players are getting something out of it. We did a pretty good job today, and day off is always a time when the next day sometimes you don't do as good a job, and I think these guys realize the sense of urgency of the lack of practice time we've had, and I was pretty pleased with the way they participated.
Tom, didn't see McQuaid out there. Is he okay?
Yeah, I guess he got hit in the head on Nick got pushed and knocked him into McQuaid, who was out by the three-point line, and Nick's back of his head hit him here, and so they took him out. He wasn't feeling good, but I don't know, your guess is mine, but I mean, he's still alive, so he's doing all right.
That practice time that you talked about, you said it was essential coming into this to get more of it. What have you seen getting out of it?
Well, I mean, we're getting a lot more done, just our attention to detail, all the little things that you talk about in a film, but now you can show them in a practice, and you think about it, it's still only been a couple of days. I mean, a couple days here, a couple days there. We're actually taking chances by going harder the day before a game because I'm just going to get some practice time in. So tomorrow we won't go this long, but we're going to go hard tomorrow, which is not the norm. But we got a lot of catching up to do, and not their fault, not my fault, not anybody's fault. We're just going to get it done, and I think they agree with that, and I definitely agree with that.
Well, this is a big week, though, because after this week you got finals, but you got a lot of practice time next week, too, don't you?
Well, we do, but we got finals, and I know when you went to school, that didn't matter.
That was an off week for me.
That was an off week, and probably a lot of other things going on, but in Michigan State and in this program, those guys are going to have a hell of a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and what always happens is some will give all their tests on Monday. There's always going to be 2 or 3 guys that are going to have them Friday afternoon, and that's kind of too bad, but it's the way it is. So we're going to find a time to get some workouts in and some individual work. Probably won't get as much teamwork done for 3 or 4 of those days.
I was watching a lot of Miles today. Players really like him, don't they?
Oh, they love him. Miles, I love him. He's, like I said, I've been saying it since he came here. He's just a different bird for a quote-unquote star. He gets along with everybody, former players, current players. It doesn't matter who you are, walk on to a manager. And that's the one thing, maybe it's a Flint thing, I don't know. It's the one thing that those guys all possess. And he's doing it at the best level. And I think he's, now he's starting to work. I mean, I think he's going to realize we got to get his conditioning back. So we're going to do it every way, shape, or form that we can.
Yeah, it looked like he was putting in a good sweat.
Yeah, and he was lifting earlier. He was working in there. So we're going to make sure when he's ready to go, he's ready to go the best he can be. I mean, not going to ever do anything like going up and down the court, but I'm proud of Miles.
How do you approach next week? I mean, I know you talked about a little more individual stuff, but I know in the past it's kind of been like, okay, we'll have like kind of a back to basics type.
Well, we will. I mean, but we didn't always do that during finals, in all honesty. We did that because we had more free time in between, I mean, once finals over, we got a game, boom, 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 we got a game, and the sad part about that, it's only 1 or 2 days prep time, and then after Christmas, you already know what we got. So there's not the normal time that we have in there, so we're going to try to cheat and get a little bit more next week, but it's not going to be in any way detrimental to any of they've already missed enough school. It's been a tough semester on these guys, and so we're going to try to get some practices in. Some might be at 6:30 in the morning, some might be at 9:30 at night. We'll try to get some in, just depending on the schedule, which I will look at. I was going to look at it today, but we had so many things going. I'll look at it tomorrow. It really doesn't matter until Sunday, but we'll try to take advantage of, like a Sunday, where normally we wouldn't practice, we'll probably practice so we can take Monday, Tuesday off, and then hopefully get some pretty good practices Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Tom, saw you challenging Josh a bit. How do you go about building up his confidence?
You know what? I don't worry about conferences. You know, that's the biggest phony thing on coaches, if you ask me. You know, every parent wants confidence. Every media guy wants confidence. Every fan wants confidence. Let me tell you something. I can build till I'm the greatest builder in the world. And players earn confidence. They earn confidence by what they do. Josh has been really good, and he's getting better. He's got to get in much better shape. That's not his fault. He was out. And he's got to realize that not to be so hard on himself. He drops his head. You watch it. You see it. That ain't about confidence. That's about a habit. And we got to break bad habits, and that's what we're going to do. And I would think, talking to Josh about it, he'd feel the same way. But that kid's got some incredible ability. He's an unbelievable kid, a good student. But that doesn't make you a good player. That gives you an opportunity to be a good player. Sooner or later, you got to be demanding of yourself. But if you do all the work and you're in shape and you're this and you're that, your confidence will come. I wish I was good enough to give somebody confidence. I'm not that good.
Was there an effort to get him more involved in the offense, to get him a couple more shots last game?
Yeah, there was an effort to get all three of those perimeter guys more involved, and all three of them got more shots because half the time they were coming off screens not looking for their shots. So, yes, there was a concerted effort, and if we'd run more, they'd get more shots. He's got to run more. That's one thing he's really got to do because he is an athlete. He can get up and down. He can put on the floor. Josh getting better. You know, Josh getting better. I told him to thank me today because I'm going to stay on him, and the other coaches are going to stay on him because it's not that he's self-motivated that he's not. He just doesn't know what he has to push himself to. So I'm going to help him out a little bit.
What do you want to see out of Kyle Arns? The 4 spot's obviously not really a fair spot for him, maybe, but what do you want to see him do?
Well, I would say it like this. If somebody told me in Iron Mountain, Michigan, that you can play the 4 at Michigan State and you can start, I'd be chomping at the bit. You know, Kyle, it's part of the confidence thing you talked about. You know, another good kid. Did he prepare for the opportunity? You know, when I got this job, I prepared for the opportunity for someone to take a chance on me, and he's got to do more of that. You know, I mean, we're in a strange situation. You know, I watch these 3 monsters walk around here, and Gavin and Ben and even Miles, and yeah, you know, it's frustrating, you know, but an opportunity is an opportunity, and so, you know, Kyle can shoot the ball with anybody. He's a better athlete than anybody knows. He's got to take advantage of that, and he's just got to play harder. I'm just going to keep. That's what the MO is going to be this weekend. We have to play harder. We're going to start putting more pressure on the ball. We're going to start doing a few things that we need to do to get better for the year to come.
How much does not having that size in practice affect guys' development with that?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, you know. I mean, poor Dave, he's either clubbing, what's his name, or I got smaller guys in there. It's hard, but it's hard because those young guys are in there. If they're experienced, you know, Duke's gone through that some, but those guys are 5th-year and 3rd-year players. You know, it's easier if you have experienced guys. Last year, we could have sat Danzel out. It wouldn't have mattered that much. You can't do that with freshmen or sophomores that haven't played much, you know. So yeah, it hurts a little bit, but you know, if I made an excuse myself, it's that I'm thinking that way. I'm not thinking that way anymore. We're gonna get after it now.
These guys seem to want to be pushed, don't they?
I agree with that. I do think sometimes they don't know what that means, but like Josh, he's learning, man. He's gonna be fine. Nick's the best example. I mean, if I look at Nick 6 months ago when he got here, if I look at Nick 3 months ago, if I look at Nick 2 months ago, and I look at him now, I'm glad I wear my voice out on Nick because I'm getting something in return, and he's getting something in return. And that's what it is, guys. This is going to be a relentless push each and every day because, you know, my mission now is to we got our butts kicked, you know, a lot of games here early. And I'm going to make sure we find a way to be kicking before we're done.
Do you have any better idea in terms of both a rotation and a lineup, what you want to do next, or just kind of?
You know, I mean, you know, like for a while, I kind of want to bring McQuaid off the bench because I thought it's some instant offense, and we did it in 2 games in the Bahamas, and it worked out some. It's hard because, you know, we thought about starting. We just can't play Kenny and him together much, as you saw the last game. You know, the foul trouble and the different. So we're hand-tied there a little bit, you know. And then if I play Nick, like everybody wants me to, more minutes, can't guard Freddie. You know, seriously. I mean, that's not his fault. He's just not where he needs to be yet, but he's working at it. But those things are hard, you know. I mean, I said myself, at Duke, we played him 14 minutes. I thought we played him 18. And I said myself, we got to play him more. Next game, we played him 25 minutes, I think. And I might have warmed him up for the next game because the last game we played him 20 minutes, and they weren't a good 20 minutes. We got to get as a good 20 minutes. And we're going to put in a few new things where we can save them a little bit. So we're going to look at that. But just got to keep getting them in better shape, and practice time helps do that.
Coach, do you see the half-court set starting to run a little bit smoother?
Yeah, I
Is
do.
that what's resulting in the point guard's turnovers going down?
I do see it running smoother. I see us understanding it more, going a little harder. One thing Nick has done an unbelievable job. Our screening has been a lot better. They were those Olay screens there early in the year, and now they're screens. And I think that's freeing more people, making shots better. So, yeah, today I thought our offense went a lot better once we started cutting and moving and passing. And Aaron not worried about taking it to the hole, worried about pulling up and taking shots because that's what he can do. So I think we're making some progress. I really do. I thought the only thing the last game, I think we still struggle with certain lineups in there. And at times the substitution pattern you're talking about is not very good. It's not their fault. It's not DJ or my fault. It's just, you know, every time you think you got one, then Kenny gets a couple of fouls extra. And then, you know, we just don't have that many numbers to screw around with that. So
Plus, it's probably a learning curve with the size adjustments.
it is. And, but you know, I feel better today than I felt last week. I like today's practice. I think we all learned something. You know, we just got to go as hard as we can go and let the chips fall where they may.
What can you tell us about Tennessee Tech and what challenges they might present?
Yeah, they got a guard, number 4. His name is hard to pronounce. That is one of the best shooters I've seen in college basketball, at least on film. And they have a couple of guards that are very good. They run a lot. They can score the ball. Haven't been as good defensively that I've seen on film. But those guards can do a lot of things, and be another good challenge for Cassius. I thought Cassius rose up a little. I thought Tum did. I thought, you know, playing Tum and Cassius together wasn't all bad. You know, again, we got so many things we're messing with, but it's just the way it is. So they're a solid, good team. I don't think they're a great team, but they're better than some teams we played. I can promise you that.
Do other teams dictate how often you can play Cassius and Tom together with their size and stuff out in the wing?
You know, Duke maybe a little bit because he had such big guards, but the most part, you know, unless they're posting their guards or really struggling rebounding, and that's an area that I think we've really worked harder on today. We just got to cut out better because we are smaller. We got to go more on the offensive end. So those two things we're really trying to work on too.
How did Cassius rise up? You said you thought he.
Well, I thought defensively he played where, you know, he was just a better player defensively, and not Travis Walton or Mateen Cleaves yet, but he's making strides now, and I think he understands what he has to do. You know, the intensity you have to play with in this league, and if you're point guard, you know, we always say if the head is on, the rest of the body responds. If the head is dead, the rest of the the body responds. So when you're playing the point defensively, that's an important position. He is rebounding a little better. He's pushing a little better. He's still not as consistent with it. Still staying in the middle a little bit. There's things we talked to him about, but he's starting to make progress, boy. And if he does, he's going to be a hell player.
Maybe a little bit. You talked about possibly starting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he forces my hand. What I've really enjoyed is sometimes when you have a quarterback controversy, a little different in football because you're usually only playing one. In basketball, you're always playing more than one, no matter what. But the relationship those two have has been special, and I give Tom a lot of credit for that because, you know, I think he knew coming in because I talked to him coming in. You know, this could be him on the bench coming off and somebody else. You know, he has embraced him like the pro's pro that I think he is. Unbelievable. And I think Cassius appreciates it. I think he's learning from it. And I'm not going to hold him back. I'm not going to be afraid to start. I'm a little afraid to start Nick for the reasons I told you. When you start a guy, he automatically plays more minutes because he gets those 4 at the beginning and 4 in the second half. And that's good if I'm trying to find more minutes for a guy, which was the case with Josh a little bit down in the Bahamas. Now I got Cassius minutes up. Probably got to keep Josh or Nick's a little bit where they are, a little less. Josh, we got to keep working on to, you guys were the one that made me look at film to see that he's dragging his leg. He's not dragging it because it's hurting. He's dragging it. It's just a habit. It was just But I tell you, I don't know what'll happen Saturday, and I don't know what'll happen next week. But I still think we're making some progress here, and we still got our hands tied on some things. It's pretty evident, but size being one of them. But if we can just weather this storm a little while longer, I think we'll have learned a lot, and I think that's a good thing.
He got it!